Tonight on the Chillstream, Little Sammy goes to the big house. Argentina joins the chat, and another installment of Everything You Think You Know is Probably Bullshit. All that and so much more coming up in 2 minutes. All right, we are back. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Monday night chill stream. We've got some big changes at StreamYard. For most of the last, I don't know, 6 or 8 or 10 times I've done this, I couldn't see myself on the camera. There was just a green screen there, and I sort of, that irritates me because I kind of like the feedback. It doesn't bother me to sort of to see myself in real time. But now the wizards at StreamYard have decided, no, we're going to leave the camera on so you can see yourself, because I think a lot of people were getting, I don't know, dizzy or uncomfortable or, anxiety because they can't see themselves. They don't get any feedback. What am I saying? What do I look like? Et cetera, et cetera. But to be honest, if you are too self-conscious, you should probably not be doing social media, at least not like this, right? Anyway, man, like there is literally it's so much stuff to cover. Title of tonight's stream is Destroy All Monsters, which was a movie with, I think, Godzilla. It was Godzilla and Baby Godzilla versus Mothra, a moth, a lizard versus a moth, and a flying turtle, a turtle that was, I can't remember what the turtle's name was. I think Gamera. And I think, I don't know, maybe it was, I don't know if King Kong was helping out Godzilla or not back then, but it was a big movie when I was a kid, Destroy All Monsters. And so I was thinking about that. Today, we got to go with the most important, the top story, our top story tonight. Though the show, the timing of the show is slightly off, is that Sam Bankman-Fried, the FTX trial is over. It's finished, and he has been found guilty on all charges. So there it is. Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on all charges, could face decades in prison. If he gets the maximum sentence on all those charges, it would be 110 years. And since it's federal, you have to do, I think, 80% of the sentence. So 80% of whatever number of years they give him. That's a very, very, very long time. And, listen, this guy, I've said it before, in my opinion, FTX was an outgrowth an outgrowth of a spook shop thing. He was involved with MIT and the Project Hamilton and the intersection of government and Wall Street and digital currency, and that the at one point right before the implosion of his little scheme, it looked like the crypto exchange Binance was going to save him, and then it decided not to. So, and I believe Binance to be a front company for CIA. I believe that's how they pay their operatives around the world to do what they need to do, or do what they're paid to do. And so Binance, helped along FTX, even though technically it was a rival. And at one point, there was a brief moment where they were about to save it. And I think somebody higher up at the Bureau of Public Highways decided, you know what, we can't have this fucking kid fuck everything up for everyone. We can't have him like literally bring down the entire show. So they cut him loose, and you find out what happens when you fuck with the government's paper. Don't fuck with my paper. So part of what Sam Bankman-Fried did, because he believes he's a super high IQ genius who's super persuasive because he's gotten everything he wanted ever in his entire life, right? He got on the stand and testified on his own behalf. And as you see in the story here, the trial observers noted that SBF was visibly annoyed during the trial. Like, how can you miserable little goy slow me down? And used a mocking voice to answer his prosecutors. This is someone with no self-awareness whatsoever. I started out the stream saying, well, I can see myself on camera now, and you have to lose your self-consciousness. That's just something you do in order to do live streams and stuff like that, in order to go out and talk to people. But if you have no understanding of how you come off to people, well, all I can say is, Sammy, don't drop the soap. Do not drop the soap. Mr. Fried, do not drop the soap. So where was the guy? Where was the dude? Where was the dude, man? Come on, I just had it. Oh fuck. Tell me I didn't upload it. Are you telling me I did not upload it? I think that's what you're saying, James. There's no way. There's no way you could have not have uploaded it. I think you forgot to fucking. Oh yeah. Oh man, let's see if I can add it. Let's see if I can add it in real time. Where's the dude? Yeah, that one. That's the one. I knew I fucking added it. How is it not on there? All right, because I have video of the DA who's giving his press conference. They kept the jury late. They said, listen, we'll buy you pizza. We'll get you an Uber. Just stay here and deliberate. And I think basically what the jury did was said, all right, we'll take the free pizza and then we'll just vote guilty and then give you the verdict immediately so you can go in front of the cameras. So here's 37 seconds of the guy who prosecuted Sam Bankman-Fried being very stylish and very, very comfortable in the spotlight in front of the cameras.
This case moved at lightning speed. That was not a coincidence. That was a choice. And it's also a message. It's a warning, this case, to every single fraudster out there who thinks that they're untouchable, or that their crimes are too complex for us to catch, or that they're too powerful for us to prosecute, or that they could try to talk their way out of it when they get caught. Those folks should think again and cut it out. And if they don't, I promise we'll have enough handcuffs for all of them.
What he said, right? People who think they're too powerful, that we can't touch them, or their crimes are too complex and we can't prosecute them. It's really, to me, that seemed like a lot of Freudian slips. That's what it looked like to me, that this guy's doing Freudian slip after Freudian slip. But nonetheless, he did his job. You know what I mean? They handed him everything on a silver platter, and that prosecution was a fucking cake. It was a total fucking cakewalk. So happy about that. That's good for us. Not that there aren't still, some problems potentially in the future, because these people never give up. They never want, they don't take no for an answer until they're forced to take no for an answer. This guy here, everybody's familiar with, everyone's favorite billionaire, Elon Musk, saying that he wants Twitter or X or whatever the fuck you call it. He wants it to be your entire financial life. So way back in the day, Facebook tried to come up with a cryptocurrency called Libra. It was an abject failure, but anything that's backed by the federal government, and trust me, Twitter is top to bottom feds. Anything that's backed by the federal government, these programs don't die. They just get reincarnated. Somebody else takes over the project. It goes to a slightly different department and a slightly different, under different budgets and different rules, and they're just gonna try again, right? So that's sort of this is part of what's going to happen in the next 5 or 7 years. They're going to keep trying to do something where they have absolute control over you and your social media, and you're going to be plugged into something 24/7, and you won't be able to escape it. They will control you, unless of course you have friends around you. Unless of course you can do this. So this shows how pathetic and fucking weak they are. And again, this to me, another indication entirely that we're going to win. The federal government, or the Federal Reserve, I should say, not the federal government, has a program that's called Fed Now, which is something like a CBDC. It's something like a central bank digital currency where you would get instant payments, and as soon as you're paid, you could withdraw the money and blah 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 blah. But the Federal Reserve has control over what you buy and what you don't buy, and it's essentially a CBDC. And the thing is, this has been mocked by, the story comes from Bitcoin Magazine. Bitcoin Magazine is being sued by the Federal Reserve for basically making fun of it. The website Bitcoin Magazine is made fun of this as a CBDC, and the Federal Reserve has decided they're going to sue a Bitcoin website for making fun of them. But we live in a world that is so demented, and the speed of which is only go faster. You have to understand, the people that run everything are fucking weak as weak can get. They are the fucking pulsing heart of weakness. This was a great fucking story I saw, and it's so fucking typical, and probably has been for decades. This comes from Yahoo Finance. Executives with addictions, right, are hiring sober companions for up to $4,000 a day, right, for continuous recovery support. Okay, you have all these super rich people. They have zero fucking virtue. They're just a bunch of junkies and alcoholics, and they have to pay people $4,000 a day to help keep them sober. Why should you should be the fucking CEO of collecting fucking cans out of the fucking trash. But these are the people that run, the biggest companies in America, and these big transnational corporations. They have to pay someone $4,000 a day. What is that? 4,000 a day, 7 days a week, right? What's 7 times 4? What is it, like 28, right? 28? Yeah, $28,000 a week, $100,000 a month. $1.2 million a year to tell somebody, no, don't have that drink. No, don't snort that coke. No, like that's and someone, that you have to be their friend. For $1.2 million, there are a lot of people I would be friends with. There are people I would be friends with. I would befriend and I would be around them all the time, and I would pick up the phone whenever they called for $1.2 million dollars in fiat, because I would turn that shit into Bitcoin like this. But these are the people who you see on, the magazine articles, all the rest of it. All of these people um, are basically, they could not get more pathetic, and they, you know, they're guaranteed. This is why we're guaranteed to win. That and this to continue with the economic stuff. Um, the White House has figured out how to get reelected. This is their strategy. At least it looks like this is the way it looks like to me. If they can just get you to forget about the war. But a lot of people are talking about economic crash. The story from, so, pardon me, from November 2nd. The Biden administration takes action to create more affordable housing by converting commercial properties to residential use. And you're like, wait, what? They're going to take strip malls and office buildings and turn them into housing for the poor and for the immigrants. And this is like solving like 3 or 4 problems at the same time, all using the money print. You have the commercial real estate world, which is about to collapse because COVID killed all these businesses, made everybody work from home, and then they downsized and downsized and downsized. So they don't need that office space, and there's no one there to take their place. There's no one with a successful business to take their place. So you have all these office buildings in these commercial spaces nationwide, right? Which are sitting empty. And the Biden administration is going to spend, I think, 35 billion with the B to pay contractors to somehow turn a commercial space into residential space. Exactly how that's going to be done is not clear, but it will create a shit ton of jobs. It will get the immigrants and the homeless off the streets, so things look like they're improving. Will keep the commercial real estate market from collapsing. So this, as far as the White House is concerned, is like a win-win-win. They care about the homeless. That's why we're getting them off the street. We're going to fix the economy because we're not going to let the commercial real estate market collapse, and all of that. And all of this comes from the money print, because they don't have the money in the budget to do it. This is a new program. They just come up with it, and they're just going to print money and print money and print money to pay carpenters and electricians and plumbers or whatever to turn a strip mall into I don't know, immigrant housing or homeless housing or low income housing or Section 8 housing. But I don't know how well that's going to work out. But that's going to be one hell of an interesting whatchamacallit. I got that already. Interesting thing to come up. I saw this chick on Instagram, and I really got a huge kick out of her. She's some kind of mud shark, but the world you live in, is run by forces you don't really comprehend.
I'm sure the people that already have food stamps know this, but if you come into Wawa and you want anything of this or anything cold, it can't be hot, but anything cold over here, any chips, you can get all of this on your food stamps. You're welcome.
So that's a convenience store chain called Wawa. It's East Coast. It's They're big across Jersey, Pennsylvania. I don't think they're in New York. I don't know what other states they're in. I don't see them down too far down south. I don't see them in Maryland or Virginia. But it's a chain store, convenience store. Sometimes has gas station attached. But yeah, this chick is like, listen, she's very clearly urban, and urban orientated in her life. But if you think, oh well, so some people go into a convenience store and get a sandwich, there's more to it than that. Stand by.
Okay, so since the food stamp police was so motherfucking mad about that video I made, I'm about to make them madder. Okay, I'm at Target. Boom. So did you know that if you go into like a Target, or if you have a Publix or whatever type of store like that has like a Starbucks inside, you can use your food stamps to get Starbucks. So I'm about to show y'all right now. Let's go. Can I get a grande iced green tea, peach green tea made with lemonade and light ice, please? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Probably like a fucking $9 iced tea, which probably the whole thing is artificial from top to bottom. And you look at that girl and you think, there's no way there's people like that. Tattoos on her hands, big fucking the beehive fucking hairdo and all that whacked out shit. But it's 100% legit. And I don't know what percentage of the economy is run that way, but a lot. And it's only going to get worse. So when you're walking around and you see some low class individual, drinking from Starbucks or hanging out in a local convenience store, understand that whatever's in their hand, whatever's in their bag, you paid for it. Okay, so that's and this is how the world goes when the parasites are in charge, when the fucking monsters are in charge. This is how the fucking world works. I got this. Let's stay on the food theme. Let's stay with food. Here's everybody's favorite strongman talking about what he's going to do.
Мы будем готовы уже в ближайшие месяцы, в ближайшие 3-4 месяца безвозмездно предоставить Буркина-Фасо, Зимбабве, Мали, Сомали, Центральноафриканской Республике, Эритрее по 25-50 тысяч тонн зерна. Обеспечим и бесплатную доставку этой продукции потребителям.
There you go, Vladimir Putin. He's going to send 25 to 50,000 tons of grain, I guess, wheat, corn, rye, or what do they grow, right? For free to Somalia, Mali, and those other fucking African countries, right? He's going to send it to them for free and ship it to them for free. And I got a question. Excuse me, Mr. Prime Minister. Are you sending any fucking free food to the Russian people? Are the people in Russia getting 25,000, an equal amount of free fucking food delivered to their fucking doors? Or you're just going to fucking airlift tons of shit or load a fucking ship full of fucking food and send it to another fucking country because, that's more important than, I don't know, lowering prices and making sure your own people don't starve to death. Knowing the history of Russia when it was the Soviet Union, and nothing has changed. They caused themselves 3 famines, and they might cause a fucking 4th. But where's my picture? Where is it? This is the way it's gonna go, right? I don't know why I don't have that. I seem to be losing shit. Why am I fucking losing shit with this? With any of this? Man, that's annoying. Man, that is annoying. I gotta go. Hold on. I have to go look at. See if we got that picture. Where's my picture? Here it is. Why don't I have this picture? I'm like literally. I realize this is not the most professional show on God's green earth, but man, I'm usually a little bit more prepared than I was today. So Vladimir, let me feed Africa. Putin is not really who you think it is. If you take a look at this, right, there's two pictures side by side. Here's two pictures side by side, right? The guy on the left side of my screen, where the red heart is underneath him, is a picture of someone they said was named Vladimir Putin, who was a captain in the KGB, who did a propaganda photo with Ronald Reagan when Ronald Reagan visited the Soviet Union back in the 80s. And the guy on the right, smiling, is the guy you think is Vladimir Putin, the one you just saw in video. Now, if you think those two guys are the same guy, then I suggest you get your eyeglass prescription fixed. They're not the same guy. And you can Google Vladimir Putin meets Reagan and look at the picture of that guy and then look at the dude you just saw. Everything you think you fucking know about the world and who runs it is bullshit. Everybody, all these people are puppets. Every fucking one is a front man for people behind the scenes that make all the fucking decisions. So, how do we fix that? Well, we all listen. Fix the money, fix the world. That is our worldview. And the reason why we'll win is because we will find creative solutions to problems you didn't even think was possible. I saw this story, I laughed my head off. This is maybe one of my favorite stories. This is from CoinDesk, November 2nd, 2023. Bitcoin miner Marathon tests Bitcoin mining with methane gas from a waste landfill. It's the 280 kilowatt pilot project in Utah is already operational. So it's done. This is not something we could theoretically do in the future. Marathon Digital, right, which is a subsidiary of Marathon Oil that started to mine Bitcoin just to get the climate communists off their back, is now going around looking at things and going, is there any energy there that we could use? Is there any way we could utilize that thing to mine Bitcoin? So, your rotting table scraps are going to help Marathon Digital mine Bitcoin. That's how crazy it is. It started out with the flare gas from oil and gas production. And then those guys are sitting around thinking, like, hey, what else pollutes the atmosphere? Well, methane. Oh, where does methane come from? Well, it just leaks out of landfills. And somebody went, wait, what? Say that again. Okay, find the landfill, go to the local guys. Here's what we want to do. We want to extract that gas so that one, your garbage does not smell as bad. And then two, they make Bitcoin with it. This is why we're going to win, because we will seek out solutions every fucking where. Okay, where other people see problems, we find solutions. This is a story about Javier Milei, who I still don't know if he's going to win or if he's not going to win the presidency of Argentina. But it says Argentina presidential hopeful wants to mine Bitcoin from dead cow, and it says the Vaca Muerta dead cow oil field in Argentina could be a viable source for energy to mine Bitcoin. This is essentially doing what Marathon's done, what ExxonMobil has done, what Royal Dutch Shell has done, and what the nation of Oman is either has already done or will do. So even if Javier Milei does not win the election, if he gets in charge of that project, if he gets permission to take the excess gas from the dead cow, that's kind of funny, and turn it into Bitcoin, he'll be president next time. I guarantee you, he will be president next time, because who's going to stand against him? The entire country will figure out he was right the entire fucking time. So what do we got? So everybody's looking to AI, right? And AI this and AI that. And I have a low opinion of AI, and so does this guy. This is an absolutely brilliant example, to show you that AI is not what it is presented.
I have a concern about this because a lot of artificial intelligence is neither artificial nor intelligent.
That's my favourite line all morning.
It brings...
Because it's data put in.
Right, so for example, if you put into ChatGPT, you might know that one, do Palestinians deserve to be free? It says, the question of whether Palestinians deserve to be free is a complex and sensitive topic. It involves historical and political and ethical considerations. People have differing opinions on the matter, and the answer depends on individual perspectives and beliefs. Now, what does it say if you put into Israelis deserve to be free? It says, yes, like any group of people, Israelis also deserve to live in freedom and security. The right to freedom is a fundamental human right and applies to all individuals and communities.
So AI is that's the science mask, once again, for the propaganda arm of the communists, right? It's going to tell you exactly what it wants you to know, and you're going to bow down to it because it's artificial intelligence and it's the smartest thing ever, and it's read the entire internet and it has it all in its memory, and it's all bullshit. And you may think you're smart enough to outwit that, but you're going to be lost in a world where you're going to be living in a world where no one else has quite figured that out. I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again now. If you are not actively trying to peacefully and legally, and I want to emphasize peacefully and legally, if you are not actively trying to destroy central banking, in specific the Federal Reserve note, then you are a fucking communist and you deserve to die starving and homeless. That's why I say you should die starving and homeless, because I know what needs to be done, and I'm working on doing that all the fucking time. And that you just stand between me and my fucking goal, which is the absolute destruction, the peaceful and legal destruction of the Federal Reserve note. And a lot of people know this. Here's a guy, this is a Chinese guy, he's not really a chink, he's a Vietnamese chink. From Texas, he's got a cowboy hat. He's a Bitcoin software developer. So he has actually written the code that Bitcoin actually runs on. So the guy's name is Jimmy Song, S-O-N-G. Having a little chat, about 60 seconds with that guy Breedlove on some ideas about human freedom.
Most people are scared to death of losing their job. Why? Because it provides everything, not just their salary, but their healthcare, their retirement, and who they are, their identity. Everything is tied up in their job. The woman has to work. We call it female empowerment, feminism, whatever. Really, it's being gaslit to believe that you're being freed when you're being enslaved. Right. No wonder we have low birth rates everywhere, right? That not only are we being told this, but it's getting less affordable because they're imposing costs all over the place. It wasn't like that, right? Most people have a last name for a reason. That was how you divide yourself. Family bonds are the enemy. You need to debase all of these bonds so that people are loyal to the state, and then socialist paradise can come. And this has pervaded and sort of grown along with fiat money, because fiat money is the fifth plank of the Communist Manifesto. And this is one of the mechanisms that Karl Marx saw as a way to bring about all of this, and they've used it. It's not an accident. So we're sort of beset on all sides by this thing.
Now, does Jimmy Song know who they are? Well, I used to tweet at him back in the day when I was on Twitter, and he would ignore me. So does he know, or does he think it's all just haters? I don't care. I want to emphasize again that I don't care. You don't need to believe what I believe. You don't need to see the world the same way I see the world. You just need to take concrete steps to fucking destroying, peacefully and legally, destroying the Federal Reserve note. That's what you need to do. That's what everybody needs to do. Again, in a peaceful, I want to emphasize, peaceful and legal manner. by trading your ever weakening dollars for ever strengthening Bitcoin. So having said that, you hear Jimmy's song, he's talking about declining birth rates, how feminism is a con, right? How family matters more than the state, all of the sort of things that the majority of people would agree with. The majority of people probably anywhere on the earth, but certainly the majority of people in America would agree with, from a lot of different points of view, would think like, hey, you know what, this thing is not working. And he knows that it comes from the Communist Manifesto. And he understands, it seems that he, from a software developer's point of view, he says, you know, we're beset on all sides. So he, I think he understands what we're up against. And that's why people like me and the things I say probably come off as whatever, unacceptable, but I don't particularly care because I have an even clearer idea than Mr. Song what we're up against, right? I have a much clearer idea. So he's talking about, talking about the fiat world. This was actually, I got another video here. This is, it's less than 30 seconds, but it's actually pretty good. Most people don't realize that the fucking protests of the 50s, 60s, 70s, or whatever, they were all setup jobs. You know what I mean? All the legislation, all the change that they created was already set up in advance. When everyone comes out and puts on the fucking, carries the banners or whatever the fuck they do, that's the performance that convinces you that, oh, look, they just happen to rewrite the laws. Look, they just happen to rewrite the entire civil rights code. Oh, okay, well, let's just vote on it and pass it. You know what I mean? Right after all these marches. So same sort of thing goes on everywhere at all times. But even what's happening is the people who grew up in that propagandized environment, like social change was necessary because Michael King Jr., that you call Martin Luther King Jr., who never actually changed his name, a trained communist and plagiarist, and someone who enjoyed spending church funds on Caucasian prostitutes. He led this incredible movement, and America was it's all bullshit because America fucking doesn't do that. What America is doing is looks a lot like this right now. New York City, kids. That's the Brooklyn Bridge. Okay, that's I don't know if they're going from Manhattan towards Brooklyn or which way they're going, but I'm guessing it was probably going into Brooklyn. But it doesn't make a difference. This is in the crown jewel. This is in Jutropolis. They got something that big that shuts down bridges, that gets that much attention, and they're not the ones behind it. It's not one of their little puppet shows. They're not happy. You've probably seen on social media huge fucking demonstrations all around the fucking world. And the White House trying to get it. Remember, they're trying to get reelected. They're trying to do everything to get reelected, and now openly telling Israel to stop genociding the Palestinians. But of course, Israel's not going to listen, right? There's some rumor that during this whole blitz, Israel granted 4 licenses to different oil and gas companies to search for oil and gas off the in the waters off the coast of Gaza. So if there's oil and gas underneath there, which is what Israel is desperate for, they will certainly they'll fucking kill all 2 million people in Gaza and get it, right? Everybody knows that. But the way they're going to do it, of course, is they're going to convince you that stuff happened that didn't really happen. You think Vladimir Putin 1 and 2, the 80s version was different from the current version. Do you think that's bad? Check out this fucking crummy CGI. It's 35 seconds of maybe some of the shittiest fucking CGI propaganda you've ever seen. Once again, proving the earlier point that artificial intelligence is neither artificial nor intelligent. This is really fucking bad. If I don't know how well you can see it, how close the detail, but there's 3 terrorists, that are walking down the street, and some guy decides to stop his car and run out of his car because some fat overweight Jew figures I can get away faster if I take my fucking fat unathletic ass down the fucking road, opposite this fucking whatever, these guys who I just instantly recognize are a threat. So I'm going to leave my car in the middle of the road and then run backwards, right? And of course he falls down. He gets up. He doesn't look back at the guys with the guns. He doesn't wonder why they're not shooting at him. He just gets up and then runs till he sees another car and he waves his hands because some fat dude in a button-down shirt doing this is the universal symbol for here come Hamas terrorists, right? And he's desperately trying to warn people as he runs off. But some poor, unlucky soul doesn't understand that a fat man, running for his life doing this means there are 3 guys. There's a guy with an RPG coming up the fucking road. I don't know what level of detail you can see on your screen, but the dude with the RPG, the one walking by himself in the middle of the street, he shoots the RPG, right, which is a Soviet-made rocket-propelled grenade or in a tube. The car blows up right next to him. He doesn't even flinch, like it's like 50 feet away. No shrapnel, no blowback, everything, everything's hunky-dory. And then he throws the rocket launcher down into the street and gets up. But if you look closely at the end of the rocket launcher, it's not an empty tube that a rocket-propelled grenade has just been shot out of. If you look close, and that video's on Instagram, you might have seen it in other places. If you look close, the rocket-propelled grenade is still in the tube, the launch tube. So it's this is all shitty fucking shit level, shit tier CGI, and they are pumping this stuff out non-fucking stop. And my point about you believing in things that aren't true, and you having to navigate a world where everyone thinks they're true. I was in where the fuck was I? I was in Delta and JFK last week, trying to pick up a piece and trying to tender 2 pieces. Pick up and tender. Anyway, so I'm in Delta JFK and I'm talking to this kid who's like in his mid-20s, and he said, the kid's like, it's his first job. He's like, oh, everything here is going downhill. A whole bunch of stuff was all confusing and whatever, and nothing wanted to work right. His computer didn't work right, printer didn't work right. The guy in the back office keeps asking for the paperwork. He keeps sending it. Blah, blah, all this bullshit, right? Just routine technical shit. And so I said to him, he said, yeah, ever since COVID, this place has really gone downhill. And, this is like a 24-year-old kid. And I looked at him, I said, listen, kid, I drove everywhere during fucking COVID. You know what I mean? I drove state to state like nothing happened. I said, COVID was all fucking bullshit. The hospitals were empty. I said, I went into hospitals. They were fucking empty. The graveyards are fucking empty. The funeral parlors were fucking empty. It was all bullshit. It was just a natural deaths from fucking influenza, from the flu and fucking pneumonia. And I thought for sure the kid's like 25 is going to agree with me. And he was like, he just like didn't answer. And I'm looking at him like, how does this kid not know that it's all bullshit? But he doesn't know that it's all bullshit. The TV told him it was real. And now I look like a crazy person because I'm saying COVID only, COVID basically didn't exist, but you can't tell people that. And, they had TVs on, and TV was blaring all that stuff. All sorts of, I'm looking at the TV. I don't own a TV. I'm looking at the TV in Delta cargo waiting area, and I'm like, holy fuck, man, these people, they don't have a chance. Like, and you have to live in that world where saying something that's clearly observable makes you look like a complete fucking lunatic. But listen, we have to live in the world we're given, right? So what? So what? We got to try and fix this. And the way we're going to fix it is by partially by laughing, but the other part is by converting your dollars to Bitcoin. You say, well, I should have done it in 2015. I wish I would have done it in 2015. Then I would be a millionaire. I wish I would have done it in 2016 when Donald Trump was elected and when it was $650 because I'd be sitting pretty right now. Well, so what? You know what I mean? So what? You missed that. Oh, I missed the 2016 cycle. At the end of the day, you have to say, so what? I can't change that. Nobody can go back in time. All I can do is change what I'm going to do today, tomorrow. That is a very, very important thing to do for your psychology, to say, so what? However, all of the things we talk about, I've been talking about for years, Weimar, this and that. I got 1 minute video from the Special Forces bro. The guy's name is Sean Ryan, and he was a Navy SEAL and a CIA contractor. He did the contractor bit, but he's talking with, I don't know who this dude with the beard is, but the dude with the beard is 100% Israel first, and I'm sure Sean Ryan is Israel first as well. But they're having a little chat about America's financial future.
You think the dollar is going to collapse?
I think it depends, which is such a lame answer, right? Is it going to collapse in the way that, like, say, the Weimar Republic did in the 1930s or Zimbabwe recently did, where it's just like all of a sudden it's $75,000 for a loaf of bread? I mean, inflation got so bad in Zimbabwe 12 years ago where you could walk into the store, pick up an item, and come back, and by the time you got to the checkout register, the price had increased.
You got to be kidding.
No. Hyperinflation had got to the point where it was like, I think 75,000%. It was insane. I don't see that happening anytime soon within the United States for a couple of reasons. One is because we still are economically the most powerful nation on earth. We still are the reserve currency, so a lot of other countries have an incentive for the dollar to not collapse. The issue that's coming up right now is the BRICS system: Brazil, China, India, South Africa, and Russia. They're announcing that they want to come up with a new currency to push back against the dollar, and they want it to be a commodity-based currency, which means like a gold-backed currency.
Yeah, so I've already gone over the BRICS thing. The BRICS is fucking bullshit. The guy that you call Putin isn't even fucking Putin. The real Vladimir Putin either probably died of cirrhosis of the fucking liver, or didn't want to go along with the program, with the kosher program that they have for Russia. So, into the ditch you fucking go. You know what I mean? That would be nothing new. So they put somebody else who looked a lot like, who looked quite a bit like the real Putin, but the guy you call Putin is, I don't know who the fuck that guy is. So, okay, so Beard Bro is talking about Weimar, and he's talking about Zimbabwe, and the people aren't going to abandon the dollar because they're too heavily invested in it, right? Think of that as a rationale. Well, no, the world is already, too heavily invested in the dollar, so they won't abandon it. Yeah, that's not true. At some point, they will. At some point, they're not ready to do it now. I don't think it's going to happen now. But at some point, they will. Okay, more and more people will, and you're going to end up with a lot of those mud shark ladies and the little monsters that they've given fucking birth to. Running around looking for their fucking free shit, and the people responsible will not be contributing very much. This is, I think this is the last video I got. Last video I got, this was one of those things where I had to go look up. Wasn't really sure that it was true, but the guy shows the video. Here's the guys at the money printer. It's never enough to just own the money printer. That's not enough. They always got to go. They always fucking got to go one step further.
Bet you didn't know this. 12 USC 531 exemption from taxation under US Code House.gov. What's it say? In effect October 1st, 2023. Exempt from taxation, Federal Reserve banks, including the capital stock and surplus therein, and the income derived therefrom, shall be exempt from federal, state, and local taxation. Ain't that a bitch?
All of those dollars, all of the dollars you make in paying tax go to them, or they go to the IRS who sends it to them, and they don't pay any tax at all anymore. I don't know. Their tax rate was probably super low to begin with, but now the Federal Reserve is not even going to pay tax on the profits it makes from everything it's about to do. So, like, they're going to strap a turbo booster onto the money printer. You know what I mean? And for people who think that changing the ethnicity of the guys behind the money printer is going to change anything, you're fucking retarded. I mean, you're really fucking retarded, because it doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter that, these guys don't eat bacon and wear funny hats, because anybody in charge of the money printer is just going to print for themselves and their friends at the expense of everyone else. So that has to end. And if you are not actively trying to end that, if you're sitting there going, well, I'm kind of comfy where I am, things aren't really that bad, come on, don't be so harsh, then you stand between me and my goal, and that is a bad fucking place to be. Because, I may have been born into this world. I have to, when I deliver my fucking boxes to go from here to fucking there, you know what? I'm forced to work for fucking Federal Reserve notes, and I'm forced to pay for everything in Federal Reserve notes. But what I have left over that is not Federal Reserve notes, I actively discard in favor of Bitcoin, something that they don't own, they don't control, and they can't stop. And if you think that that's unimportant, then you deserve whatever gifts communism can give to you. You know what I mean? You deserve all the love and affection that the warm embrace of communism can deliver to you. And I don't have much use for people like that. Not much use for people like that at all. So do I have anything else? I don't have really anything else. I'm trying to go easy on the genocide thing right now, but this is the world we live in. This is a great image for the world we really live in. So, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Are you going to fight, or are you going, and I mean peacefully and legally, fight to free that planet, or no? Because we're Bitcoiners, we're fucking fighting. Okay. Do the people who Bitcoin, do they know that that's what they're fighting? No. Do half of them just wanting to fucking drive a Lambo and snort cocaine out of a supermodel's ass crack? Yeah, probably more than half. They're 20-somethings that have been fucking flipping burgers for God knows how long, and they're looking forward to a life of hedonism. But all that matters is that the snake is, that the dragon is slain. That is all that matters. And for what limited time I have fucking left on this planet, and what limited monetary value I create, I'm going to try and hasten that day every fucking like until I croak. That's it. This is my mission in life. This is my focus, and everything else takes such a secondary priority that it's so far second that it's almost not even worth mentioning. Anyway, with that, where are we at? Where are we? We're at 55 minutes. 55 minutes. I didn't even hit the smash the like up button banner, which I've just done now. Smash up the like button. Mostly because at this point now, I get no notifications of any fucking thing I post. The more I say like, hey, give me feedback, like nothing gives me feedback anymore. Not Google, not this, not that. If I comment on a YouTube video, no, wait, let's get that off there. If I comment on a YouTube video, I have to go back. Like I have to remember the title of the video and go back and see how many likes. Because I don't get any notifications at all anymore. So the bug men and the feds are still out there, doing whatever it is they think they're fucking doing that dissuades me. But it literally only makes me stronger. Every day, I spend, I don't know how much time I spend a day, curating this show. This fucking thing doesn't want to work now. There's an ocean of material. There's a fucking ocean of fucking material. It's going to be served up to me daily on my smartphone. And once a week, I'm going to cherry pick it and I'm going to curate what I think is important to know. And I'm going to bring it to you on next week's Monday night Chillstream. So, to everybody who showed up, Virgil, Doc Purple Heart, Juice Fly Chai, Francesco Vasconcelos, all the rest of you guys, Stigs and Goads, everybody that's going to watch this in the reruns, thank you for stopping by, and I will talk to you again next week. So, time to hit the outro music, James. Try to be prepared. Talk to you guys next week.